Subsequent to escaping jail, Justin Chung recounted to his story on webcasts and TikTok. He realized he would confront intense inquiries, that sharing about a graduation or family Thanksgiving would be interspersed by tokens of his horrendous mix-up. "You ended a daily existence and the 14 years doesn't give the casualty's family any equity," a TikTok client composed. Chung was mercilessly legit, conceding that it took him years to feel regret. He needed to share his muddled excursion. What's more, he was mobilizing support for another battle, due to the homicide he committed when he was 16. He had lost his opportunity to apply for a green card. He is nearly being expelled to South Korea, the country he left as a 2-year-old. "Particularly being Korean, I would like to be private for my family," said Chung, 33. "Yet, I need to battle. I need to accomplish something before I get expelled." In the same way as other Korean outsiders, Chung's folks came to the U.S. more for him than themselves, trusting he would get passing marks and avoid inconvenience. Chung felt lost. He fought for himself after school. His mom worked at a Korean video store then. At that point, a burger store, he said. She in the long run began a dress business in Midtown LA with his dad, a style creator. As a secondary school understudy in Rancho Cucamonga, Chung was started into the hot nut job young men, getting hopped and having his teeth took out. In the midst of the aggravation and dread, he felt a feeling of having a place interestingly. They gave him an epithet, quiet. The group, whose name implies Korean young men, was little, around 15 individuals. As the Machna, most youthful, Chung needed to become well known. At a party in Roland Levels on August 17, 2006, a more seasoned Han Wacko kid defied 5 young fellows, thinking they were individuals from a Chinese posse, the Watching. Chung had gotten into battles with Watching individuals previously. On the off chance that his kindred Han crackpot young men disliked them, he did as well. They were my Han siblings. They were my family, he said as of late. As another Han Wacko kid, Pyonghwa Ryu, pulled a white Toyota Camry close by the other gathering's dark Honda Accord. Chung lowered the window on the front traveler's side, pointed a Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum and terminated a few times, as per court declaration. Eric Sheng Huang, 21, passed on from a shot injury to the head. The driver, Calvin Yao, who was hit in the neck, jawline and back, made do. Huang, Yao and the others in their vehicle were not gangsters. As per court archives, after 4 months, during history class, a voice on the radio called Chung to the front office. 2 analysts were pausing. Chung was attempted as a grown-up. In a Pomona court on October 17, 2007, a jury sentenced him for first-degree murder with a road posse upgrade. He recollects his mom howling. An individual gangster's dad told him, nay, or keep it together. An adjudicator condemned him to 82 years to life. Co-litigant Ryu was indicted for second-degree murder and other wrongdoing and condemned to 15 years to life in addition to 50 years in state jail. At Pelican Strait State Jail, Chung turned into a stylist, ready to trim hair for Latino, highly contrasting detainees in the midst of dug-in racial competitions. Since Asian Americans were nonpartisan, he got his GED and Book of Scriptures advanced education. He endured innumerable long periods of groups of hoodlums mysterious. Some of it sank in. He figured out how to recognize his triggers for savagery and how to stay away from them, he said. In 2018, then Gov. Jerry Brown drove his sentence to 15 years to life, referring to his obligation to restoring himself. The following lead representative, Gavin Newsom, denied parole for Chung, yet an appointed authority switched the choice, requesting Chung's quick delivery in June 2020, after almost 14 years in jail. As is commonplace in murder cases including non-U.S. residents, Chung was shipped off a movement confinement office with a removal request. But since of the coronavirus pandemic, he was given up with a lower leg screen and a request to report consistently to migration specialists. Chung was 30 and had never lived as a grown-up external jail. He contemplated figuring out how to code. Yet, why not depend on an expertise he had? Toward the end of last year, he moved on from a cosmetology program at Los Angeles Exchange Specialized School. He is a full-time beautician and monetarily upholds his mom, who actually works in the design business. Perhaps in an alternate life, Chung and Huang might have been companions. Huang, who went by Sheng rather than Eric, came to the U.S. from Taiwan when he was around 8. At Shangri-La High, he played violin in the ensemble and ran significant distance track. Said a companion who asked that her name not be utilized on the grounds that she fears reprisal from previous Han nutjob young men. The group is outdated for certain individuals extradited to Korea. Huang's text handle was AZN Quickie. He got a kick out of the chance to play b-ball and worked at a Custard Express boba shop. He was a ridiculous kid who was continuously giggling, the companion said. He was likewise a mindful individual who might escape his home at 11 p.m. to chat with a going through hard companion times. The day preceding his demise, Huang had stepped through an examination to get his land permit. I contemplate where Sheng would be currently. He would most likely be hitched with kids. His folks would have been grandparents, she said. They don't get to have any of that, in light of the fact that Justin ended that life for no great explanation. In a composed proclamation, Huang's family heard that a projectile had gone into his cerebrum and that eliminating it would place him into vegetative state. His sister lost a young fellow she depicted as her rock and emotionally supportive network. Dreading reprisal from the group, the family sold their home. In excess of 100 TikTok recordings. Going from entertaining and unconventional to serious and otherworldly, Chung has been chronicling his life and the vulnerability he faces. In one video, he trims his mother's hair and goes to a family Christmas gathering without precedent for years, opening presents and making gingerbread houses, with nostalgic piano music playing behind the scenes. A TikTok slideshow starts with a photo of a youthful Chung in a chambray jail shirt and pants in a meeting room with his dad. Bound for jail. What's more, to bite the dust in jail. 14 years gone. Appreciative for another Thanksgiving. With her. The inscriptions read, as shots of Chung's sweetheart move quickly over the screen. Also, obviously my mama, the video finishes up. He gives no criminal energies, another previous detainee says of Chung in a YouTube video where they examine their jail encounters. An intermittent testing question or negative remark is an opportunity for Chung to answer with second thoughts and expressions of remorse. I'm really sorry. I'm really upset for what I've done. I wish I can return and simply reclaim what I've done, Chung says on an episode of Asian America, the Ken Fong digital broadcast. Yet I can't. Chung's Korean isn't awesome, barely enough. He said, the vast majority of his family, including his mom and grandma, is in the U.S. His dad kicked the bucket in April 2016 while he was in jail. Foreigner Freedom's supporters and others, including Irvine Bad Habit City Chairman Tammy Kim, have mobilized to Chung's objective. What I saw with Justin might have been my sibling, said Kim, who was a newborn child when she left Korea. In a blue Dodgers shirt, shorts and white tennis shoes, grasping an envelope containing his desk work, Chung mixed in with different migrants hanging tight for arrangements at a government working in Midtown Los Angeles one day the previous summer. Since his delivery from jail, he has checked in with migration authorities multiple times. At each gathering, his extradition could start. He is booked to report there again Tuesday. He is expecting an exculpation from Newsom, which could make an adjudicator more lean to invert his extradition request. Chung stresses that recounting his story could damage Huang's loved ones. However, he needs to acculturate what is happening for the Asian American people group, where those getting back from jail can be vilified. Furthermore, for his purposes, the more help he has in battling his removal, the better. He has raised gathering Huang's loved ones. However, by regulation, they need to start the contact. To hear Chung discuss the shooting as group-related, Huang's family said, is exceptionally frightful. The family expressed that for Chung to endure removal would be nothing contrasted in what they have experienced. Each activity Justin takes is causing our family to remember the aggravation of him removing Sheng from us, the family said. To Huang's companion, beginning once again in an unusual land is an only ramification for ending a day-to-day existence. She held Huang's hands minutes before specialists reassessed August 19, 2006. She didn't go to Chung's preliminary, it was excessively excruciating. Assuming you are truly grieved, simply go to Korea, she said. It's essential for what God has given you. So, dear young heroes, hold on a second to think carefully before you pull the trigger, because the consequence can be extremely serious for yourselves later.